Had a wonderful question today, asked of me by a friend of mine, Chelsea Pierce. Hey, Chelsea, if you're watching this, I've done this especially for you. Um, Chelsea points out, has have a number of people actually, in this. Oh, my eyes are looking in the right direction. Should my eyes be looking here or here? We'll see. Chelsea points out, there we go, that's better. That David, you have a website and funnel and tech and all that sort of stuff. You know, why are you recommending that coaches shouldn't have one when you've got one? Fair question. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool question, actually. Thing is, I know there's a massive temptation for everybody to go out there and go and get a funnel because it's very easy to believe the hype in terms of let's go out there, get the automation. It's just a question of just sending people to your website and people become customers and what have you not. And we also think that, this is the professional approach and the way that we should go into it. The reason why I don't recommend coaches to go out and get a funnel or website and heavy tech and stuff like that is because of a few things. One is the sheer amount of work that it takes. It can set you back months and months and months. It's not easy. The amount of traffic that you need to send to your funnel to make it stick, to get anything worthwhile it's absolutely mental. If you've got very, very deep pockets, and I mean very deep pockets, of course, you can use ads and stuff like that. But the thing is this, we're coaches, and our clients need to be heard, they need to be listened to, and they need an opportunity and a place to be able to ask questions and communicate with you. A funnel doesn't do that. I know that, if you get yourself into some of these sales organizations, they'll tell you do great sales copy, then you do some A/B split testing and tweak it and work out which is better and which is better and which is better. But it's really, really hard work. Now, I've been in the online space since 2007. So I've been working with websites, sales copy, funnels, and everything else in between for 16 years now. It's a long time. I've got an awful lot of experience. And it is extremely difficult to get up and running in a short space of time without knowing your audience. And you might be thinking, yeah, but David, I know my audience already. I am my audience. And I get what you're saying. I really do. But if you can't have a conversation with somebody on the phone and get them into your business, then there is no way a funnel will ever work for you. Because when you're in that conversation with somebody, they're asking you questions and things like that, and you create a relationship and you know what to answer or how to answer, and you're guiding them through. So if you can't do that at that level, how on earth is a funnel going to work for you? And all I want, ladies and gentlemen, is for you not to waste your time and not to waste your money and to have your bubble burst. Excuse me for the sunlight shining by. I'll just move the camera slightly. And that's the reason for it. I mean, why do I have tech? I really, really enjoy it, is number one. And the second thing is I can afford to. And I don't want to sound arrogant when I say that. And what I mean, I can afford to. I'm not talking about the monthly subscription fees and things like that. It's I have enough money coming into my business so that I can go and do it. And if I didn't have enough money going into my business, then I would not have a website and funnel and tech and all that sort of palaver. And even now, you will not see me taking you through some sort of sexy email sequence. I don't, because I don't believe it creates great relationships. So you can come to my website, go on beyondillusion.com, and you can download one of maybe 50 different training programs that I've got, right? I get your email address for that. Every time I do a new training program, I send it out to you. So you've got a copy of it, so you can just bring it into your armory of your business. What I'm doing now is I'm giving genuine relationship, excuse me, the word I'm looking for is I'm giving genuine value there. I'm building a real relationship, not some sort of email sequence that nobody really wants to read. I mean, if somebody signed up on my website because they're interested in getting training programs, so when I do the next training programs and they get the email out, the chances are they'll have a look at it, which is great. And then we're going, oh, there's David again trying to help us out. There's David again trying to help us out. Not there's David again trying to open my wallet, you know? But I'll go back to it. I can only do that because I can afford it. And there are many coaches out there that literally can't afford it, you know? And if you can't afford to do a funnel, and what I mean by that is you don't have income coming in for your business, don't do it. The real gold is not gold in them hills. The real gold is you having conversations with people. This morning I did a video and it was about the 4 steps of bringing on clients, 4 simple steps. And it's so easy. I mean, step number 1 is all about who you're going to work with and the transformation that you're going to create with that person. Fantastic. Step number 2 is going out there, literally speaking to your friends and family, your network, your acquaintances, and everybody else, saying, hey, do you know anybody who needs this transformation? Step number 3 is getting some discovery calls where you ask 2 types of question. Now, question number 1 is, well, the first type of question is, what the heck's happening in your life? You know, give me the big picture, dig into that, find out what's happening. And step number 2 is then to ask them, where do you want to be? You know, you're in this situation, where are you going to go? And the fourth step in total, so the first step is the transformation and the people who you want to work with. The second one is asking people, do you know these people? The third one is the discovery calls. And the fourth one is saying, hey, do you want to give it a go? Do you want to join? Let me help you. I can be your coach. That's the sort of thing that we need to do and get out there. Now, I don't know what you do personally as a coach, but let's say that you're a leadership coach and you are leading, you coach CEOs. Just get out there and speak to them and say, look, why do you want leadership coaching? What is it that's been presented to you in your life that says, I need leadership coaching? Tell me how that looks in your life. What are the positives that you can gain out of it? What are the negatives that you need to move on from? And then you ask questions, of course, about, you know, where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? And what's this really going to look like? What's the love and light that it's going to bring into your life and your employee's life? You know, you create that little roadmap. And once you create that roadmap, you say, look, do you want to do some coaching with me? It doesn't get easier than that. It really doesn't. And, you know, if you've got issues with, oh, you know, I don't like asking for money, you know, whether it's $500 or $5,000. Okay, come and work with me and I'll show you and I'll help you how to overcome those issues. You know, and we can do like a $1 a day club where you're just asking people for $1 a day. I mean, if you can't ask somebody for $1 a day, what the heck? And I'd prefer, let's get back to funnels. I'd prefer you, I would love it if you went out there and went and spoke to 50 people and said, hey, I'm a coach that does this, and I'm gonna take you from A to B. I've got a $1 a day group, help you with your transformation. You're gonna love it. Do you want to give it a go? And if you went out and spoke to 50 of those people, you're going to get some of those people on board as long as the audience is right and the transformation is right. Okay. However, if you're going to say, hey, are you interested in this? Go and look at my funnel. I mean, for fuck's sake. And I will swear from time to time. I mean, if you're going to show them an interest, if you're going to really show them an interest, why say, click on my link to find more? I mean, you're CEO, you're a managing director of your business. You're not some shitty temp marketing assistant who can't wipe their fucking ass. Your life, your future depends on this, right? I mean, shape up. I'm sorry, Chelsea, I'm not speaking to you there specifically. I've got to be careful what I say there. I'm talking to people in general. But shape up. You know, it's if you really, 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 really want this, go and speak to them. Because if you're not going to speak to them, stop fucking around. Stop being a coach. I don't want to piss on your chips. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to see your world fall around you. But if you're serious about coaching, you've got to go and speak with people. Hey, Helen, good to see you. Sorry for the swear words. You've got to go and speak to people. That's the bottom of it. And if any of you are thinking, well, no, David, I'm not quite sure about this, let's wind back. Prior to 2004, that's when Facebook came on the scene, right? Prior to 1998, when the internet really started to kick off and take off and whatever not, how did people go and do business then? Yeah, that's right. They went and spoke to people. And did you know back then there were less businesses going bust than they are today? And why do people go bust today? Because the amazing amount of shortcuts or the perceived shortcuts that are available out there, and we go, oh, I'll tell you what, I'll just go and do a funnel. I'll just go and do a tripwire product. I'll just go and do a challenge. I'll just go and do that. I'll just go and do that. What I'm sharing with you isn't a shiny object. Therefore, it is not sexy. I'm asking you to go and speak with people. No, be really simple and specific. So I'll give you an idea of being simple and specific. You know, there's an audience of people out there, and ideally you know them. I mean, if you don't know them, you really are putting yourself in a harder and weaker position. Ideally, you need to have access to these people or know them already. They're in your own sort of personal space, your own sort of community. I'm not sure who you are, what you're involved with. So let me give you an example for me. I'm an English guy that lives abroad. I'm an expat. So maybe I could go and sell a product to expats. Why? Because I know what it's like to be an expat. I know the issues that we go through. And even better, I know expats. So I can go and have a conversation with them and say, look, do you know any expats that need this? Whatever this is, and whatever that transformation is going to be, and keep it simple. And if you can't do that, you need to ask yourself why. And if you're scared for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of fear of rejection or whatever. If you're scared to do it, that is the number one thing that you've got to sort out. I'm not saying you've got to sort it out by yourself. I'm not saying that I can sort it out. Perhaps my business partner, Rob Yates, can sort it out. But if you're not in a position where you feel comfortable with speaking to people, you must do that. Because I'll tell you, going to buy a funnel and spending lots of money on that and having your dreams pumped up is not going to get you anywhere. In fact, it's going to do the opposite. And the chances are it's going to deflate you and you're going to end up feeling like a bag of shit. And I don't want that. So please, ladies and gents, if you are not prepared to go out there and speak to potential clients, I'm not talking about having sales calls. I'm literally saying, hey, do you know anybody who's, go to your friends, like the expats for me. Do you know any English people over here in France that need a hand with whatever it is? And that person might say, yeah, David, actually, I could do with a bit of that. Right, okay. Or, I've got I know some friends that need that. So start with something that's with people that I mean, and I've come across many wonderful people that say, David, I would love this to be my coaching business. And I say to them, great, how many do you know? And they go, I don't know any. Right, okay, well, that's going to make it really hard. Now, I'm not saying you can't go down that road. What I am saying is you're going to have to be a really smart marketer, very good at sales, extremely shrewd, have money to invest in yourself, and be able to put months aside so that you can get yourself ready for that audience. Because this is not 2004, where Facebook is brand new and groups are new and all that sort of stuff, and people go, "Woo, look at this! Let's go and join David." Buy. We're in a different world. And the competition is tougher. And there are, if you want to go and build a funnel or a website and just literally send people to a funnel or a website, well, hello, there's a million of them out there that those people are seeing already. You're really pissing in the wind. However, if you believe in what I do, that people buy people, then you will give yourself a fighting chance if you're prepared to go and speak to some people, and say, come on, I'm a coach. I can help you, but I might be able to help you. Can we have a 20-minute chat about it? They go, yeah, I'd love to have a 20-minute chat with you about it. And there you are, you're on a call. And you say, well, look, we're going to work out in this call whether we're a good match for each other, whether I can help you move forward, and whether you want to move forward. Is that okay? And the client goes, yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, great. All right, help me, get me started. Tell me about your problem. What's happening? So they tell you, and that you write a few of their issues down, and you ask them to reflect upon their issues, and they go, yeah, and they can see it. They go, right, okay, so you're digging into this. You're not deliberately trying to pick up pain points. You're just being the doctor. You're trying to find out, what their issues are and how it really impacts their life. And they go, right, okay, so how do you want life to look? Well, the first thing they're probably going to say is, well, I don't want it to look like what it looks like now. Okay, that's a sensible first step. What's a sensible second next step? What does the rosy side of life look like? Tell me a dream that you have that, that's not too far away, that maybe something that you can achieve. So they tell you that. They share with you what their life, how they would like their life to be. And you make a sensible next step. And rather than selling them the dream or anything like that, you just say to them, look, this is where you are right now. And the sensible next step is here. And they go, yeah. How about we move you to that first base? Don't have to, not promising you the world, not promising you a trip to the moon and back. I'm talking about getting you to the first base, getting you moving, getting you in that right direction, away from where you are right now. How do you feel if we started working together on that? Client goes, right, okay. What's it going to cost? And look, if you're not a coach, in terms of you don't have any clients, it's better to be paid for something than it is not to be paid at all. It really, really is. So if you want to, and I don't mind, if you want to say, look, you're going to be one of my first clients in this. I really appreciate you doing this with me. I can't wait to work with you. I know I've got the skills. How about, tell me what you want to pay. You could even start off with something like that. Maybe if you're a little bit more confident, you don't have to. You can say, well, look, let's do 5 sessions and I'll send you an invoice of $500. How does that feel? Person goes, yeah, okay, $500 to be able to help me get rid of this pain and move forward to where I want to be. Well worth it. Well worth it. No funnel needed. Literally, no funnel needed. Now, what you could do, and I'm just going to extrapolate a little bit, right? What you could do is you could put yourself in a conference. I'm not talking like an online summit or anything like that. I am talking physical conference. And you might say, David, I live in the middle of nowhere and it's going to be at least a 2-hour flight somewhere. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, it's better off for you to go on a 2-hour flight, spend a couple of $100 on that flight, spend a couple of $100 in a hotel for a night, 2 nights, whatever it is, and maybe $100 entry fee, $500, $100 spend. You're better off spending $600 going to an in-person conference or a big networking meeting where there's 50, 100, 200, 300 people who you can speak with. You're better off doing that on the basis that you go and speak to those people, because that's where your audience is, and that's where you can ask these questions. They're there for you. You can't fail but to bump into people. And I've done that myself. Well, especially when I was working with driving instructors back in the day. I just used to go to a conference and used to have people say, David, why didn't you have a trade stand? I don't need a trade stand. I just used to go and talk to people. Hey, I'm David. How are you? What do you do? I'm a driving instructor. They're coaches, trainers, just a different thing that they're supporting people with. We used to have a chat and I used to find clients. I used to find clients every single time. And it was only because I was just speaking with them. I wasn't trying to be ultra professional and, hey, here's my business card. Look at that. Look at my website. Give me a call afterwards. None of that shit. I just used to go and have a chat with people. You'd find yourself stood at the bar next to somebody. Hey, you driving instructor? Yeah, I am. What part of the country are you from? Hey, are you a life coach? Yes, I am. What part of the world are you from? Or maybe you're sitting down with them and having a bit of a snack. Maybe you're sat next to them in the actual conference. And when you are sat next to somebody in a conference, what do? You introduce yourself. Introduce the person to, don't be on the side of the aisle. Make sure you've got at least one person to the left and at least one person to the right. Hello, I'm David. I'm a business coach. I live in Cognac in France. Who are you and what do you do? Boom, and you're away. And if you are at a conference or something like that, and let's say you're away for a weekend, like a Friday, Saturday or Sunday or something like that, and there's 200, 300, 400 people in this conference, my God, how many people could you speak with? So why are we spending $99 on a month on a funnel, sending ads to it, trying to find all that time to send people to a funnel or to a BS website where, if we're not afraid of speaking, just go and meet people. And I'm a little bit restricted myself. I am. And maybe you're a little bit restricted yourself. I live in France, My target audience are English speakers. At the moment, I'm wondering if there are any conferences in England right now that I can get over to in 2023, so I can meet people. I don't mind getting a flight over, stopping in a hotel a night, and going to a conference for the day and just going out there and just meeting all of my target audience and finding who they are, what they're about, introducing myself. And heck, I might even pick up a few clients. But I've got a much better chance of finding clients that way than I have with finding clients on a funnel. Why? Because I'm meeting them face to face and having a conversation with them and finding out about them, finding out who they are. And this, ladies and gents, is what all really, really good business owners do. All really good business owners do. We don't sit at the back of ivory towers. We go out there and we go and meet our audience face on. And I promise you, please, if you do have a problem with that, it's okay. It really is. But your problem isn't marketing. Your problem is the inability to be able to go up and speak with people. And that is the most important thing that you will need to be able to overcome in your business. It's not about going out and hiring a business coach at, I don't know, $1,000 a month, $3,000 a month, or whatever it is, If you cannot have conversations with people where you can offer tell people about your business and offer it, tell them the price and offer it to them. If you cannot do that, a funnel will never, ever help you. And I don't want to be coming back to you and saying, I told you so. I mean, I will never have the opportunity anyway, because what will happen is you'll just disappear. I don't mean in the earth, from the universe. But come on, do this for yourself. This is not about for me. It's not a sales pitch for David Poole and going beyond the illusion. This is about who you are right now. And it's not easy. It is not easy setting up a business, and it's not easy setting up a business on your own. I know it looks easy. I know all these other people that, wow, look at me, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And, some of the business coaches out there will tell you how fabulously easy it is. And, once you make this breakthrough and make that breakthrough and look at my clients and what have you not. But I'll tell you, they've all got different stories to you. They've all got different stories to you. And what we do is we judge ourselves against other people. Now, we've heard this before, where we compare ourselves to others. But when we normally talk about comparing ourselves to others, we talk about it from where we're putting ourselves in a negative. But we also compare ourselves to others where we think, well, if that person's done it, I can do it too. Well, how do we know what their skills are? How do we know what their resources are? How do we know what their natural abilities are and the things that they can get up and go and do? We just don't know. So please, if you look at me and go, hey, David, you've got all this tech. Why are you telling us to do something different? not telling you. I'm giving you a signpost. I'm just being honest with you. If I wasn't honest with you, I'd say, hey, come to me and come do what I do. But I've worked out that coaches really, really struggle with this. Really struggle. So I'm telling you my truth and the way that I see it. And I've spoken to countless life coaches. Get out there and go and speak to people. Right. I love you and leave you. I hope you've enjoyed a bit of cognac. I'm not sorry the camera's been a bit wobbly, and you might be watching this on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook or somewhere. But I like to come out. I like to have a bit of a walk, and I like to get stuff off my chest as well, as you can see. So any messages, I have pop them in here, or you can contact me privately. That doesn't matter. You take care and stay awesome. Oh, hello, Susanna. All the best to you and have a lovely weekend.